Now, for a Democratic point of view, I'm joined by Connecticut's Governor, Ned Lamont. Governor, welcome to the NewsHour. Thanks for your time. I want to begin by asking you the same question I put to the Attorney General about abortion access in your state. If Roe is overturned, what would be the impact? In the state of Connecticut, what would abortion access look like?
Well, first of all, this Supreme Court leak took us totally by surprise. We thought this was settled law. That said, about 5 years ago, we did pass a statute that says a woman's right to choose will not be abridged in the state of Connecticut, no matter what the feds do. As you know, that can be changed by another legislature going forward. Right now, I think a lot of folks are nervous, can't believe the politicians are getting back into this.
So you have pledged to sign into law a bill that basically expands abortion access by broadening not only the types of providers who can offer those, but also protecting providers and patients who travel to your state for those services from other states where it has been outlawed. Are other states calling you because they want to do something similar?
We're getting some inquiries, but look, you listen to what's going on in Texas. It was going to be enforced by lawsuits and the such, like vigilante justice. A number of women maybe want to come up to Connecticut to exercise their reproductive rights. I don't want Texas, judges going after them. So we're going to protect our folks providing this service, protect our clinics, and protect the women.
But Governor, all the states that surround you have also worked to codify that abortion access. So have you seen other people from other states traveling to Connecticut for those services?
Not so much as yet. We're just ready.
But you do anticipate that could happen?
I do anticipate that, sure. I look at the neighboring states to Texas right now, and I see a lot of women have to travel out of state to get their reproductive rights.
Well, let me put to you what your critics would say, which is that you are protecting people who are essentially breaking the law in other states. Would you do that for any other law? What would you say to them?
I'd say we're protecting people's rights here in the state of Connecticut. We're exercising or enacting the rights that we have right here. I don't have to sit around enforcing 24 other states, each of which has probably a very different reproductive law going forward. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do on rape. I don't know what they're going to do on incest. I know what we're going to do in Connecticut, which is protect women's rights.
What about this concern we heard from President Biden earlier today, that because Roe was decided on the basis of a constitutional right to privacy, it undermines other cases that were similarly decided? Do you have that concern?
I wouldn't know that.
Let me just ask you then, if these kinds of steps were not taken by you and your state legislature there, we know other states are making similar moves, what do you worry would happen in the state of Connecticut and the surrounding region?
We had a couple of thousand anti-choice protesters outside of the Capitol just a few weeks ago. So there's a pack here in the state of Connecticut that wants to outlaw a woman's right to choose. So we have to be very vigilant here, especially given the changing political climate starting in the Supreme Court. And I think a majority of the states are going to take away a woman's right to choose. And we're not going to let that happen in Connecticut.
Governor, we have less than a minute left, but I wonder if you can step back and kind of offer a big picture take here. Many people are worried if Roe is overturned, what will essentially end up is a patchwork of abortion rights access depending on where you live. What role do you see Connecticut playing if that is to be the future of this country?
I think stay a leader when it comes to reproductive rights and keep the politicians out, working with my neighboring states like we do to make sure as a region, you know what your rights are going forward, and hope to God that the Supreme Court, or even better, Congress can get it right and pass legislation that does not interfere with a woman's right to choose.
That is Governor Ned Lamont, Democrat from Connecticut, joining us tonight. Governor, thank you so much.
Thank you.